Hi, friends. I'm Zach.
I'm Mitch.
And this is an excellent little podcast.
Starring Zach and Mitch.
Wait, we're doing a podcast?
Yes, we are doing a podcast. You just said we were doing a podcast. What do you think
right.
we've been doing all these weeks?
Oh, God, that's a story for another time. How
all
this
the road
thing
trip.
got started.
Oh, man. Especially like all the road trips to Universal and back.
Oh, gosh. No, but that is another story for another time. But
yes,
here...
we will tell you this story.
Oh, eventually. We do promise. But we are here today to talk about our top 10 anticipated movies for 2022.
What about 2021?
Well, 2021 was a very historic year for movies theaters. It was the first full year that movie theaters were open since the
Pandemic,
Panini, whatever you want to call it.
We finally got Black Widow. We got Shang-Chi.
Yep,
and, of course, the Spider-Man No Way Home.
Which has become the second highest grossing movie of all time domestically. So
well deserved.
Oh, absolutely well deserved. But here we are here to talk about the future.
The future.
But we're very excited for all the movies and all the things coming in 2022. And as a note, we are also going to talk about movies coming theatrically to 2022.
Correct. There will be on this list, I know one of us does have a streaming, but it's not in our top 10, but we do have an honorable mention. Mm-hmm. We also have a streaming pick that's not in our top 10, but we do want to have a quick few minutes on the said streaming pick.
Absolutely. And also, as me and Mitch got to meet each other through work, and we just really found our love for movies.
Yep.
And
we're both A-listers.
So we figured it was just a perfect fit to come and talk about our movies.
I'm glad that we're both A-listers, because I feel like I wouldn't be happy with a B-lister, because you know those B movies back in like the 40s, 50s, and 60s? Those B movies, they were so bad.
But they're so beautiful for how bad they are.
I know. like the 355.
That was actually going to be our first reviewed movie, but
alas, we're gonna pass on that.
We're gonna pass on that one.
Yeah.
That movie just didn't know when to end.
Let's just put it this way: it was not a very good movie.
No.
Not a good start for our podcast, and to be honest with you, not a good start for movies in 2022.
No, it was not. But I'm excited
January.
that it's in our past. We are
Yes.
only looking for the future.
It's only January. We got another 11 months.
That we do. An exciting 11 months.
And hopefully no other movies get delayed, like a certain one that was on my top 10.
Well, we are hoping for that. But one other side note that we have to say, we are Disney cast members.
Correct.
And everything that we are about to say does not represent the brand or the company.
Right. And also we want to mention that these are purely subjective lists. We are not experts. We did not look on IGN. We did not look on IMDb. But these, like my list is completely different than Zach's.
Oh, 100%. And that's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to, is to see what exactly is on your list and where we differ. But also, we also want to hear your guys' list. What are your top 10 movies that you are looking forward to? Please go ahead and let us know, either by writing in, by commenting, doing whatever you can. We always want to hear from you.
If you want to give us a call, no one calls us anymore.
No
Does
one
anybody
calls
call
me
you anymore?
No.
No one calls me anymore either. People sometimes try to text me, but you know, I get so tired of text messages, I have to throw my phone away.
My phone has been thrown multiple times. There's so many cracks on my screen.
But it's fine. Is it because of all the movies getting delayed?
No, it's just an iPhone.
Oh, it's just an iPhone.
Yeah, it's just an iPhone.
You want to make sure it stays not cracked.
No, then I would get a Samsung if I wanted to make sure I had a clean screen.
But I have an iPhone.
Well,
you know, my iPhone right now is crying in my pocket.
That's very sad. All right, but we should go ahead and get started for your phone's sake, so that you guys can be joined in matrimony.
So if you would be so kind, I would like to start with my honorable mention and my streaming pick.
Absolutely, let's go ahead.
So my honorable mention for this year, unless it gets delayed, is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That is my honorable mention before my top 10. I really wanted to put it in my top 10. The thing is, Into the Spider-Verse was one of the best comic book movies. I'm not talking just animation. I'm not talking films. I'm talking one of the best comic book related adaptations, whether it's television or film.
Okay.
In the history of cinema. The thing that concerns me a little bit, can they replicate that magic? Mm-hmm. Also, it's 3 new directors.
That it is.
We discussed earlier how It's not the same directors.
Nope.
It's not the same directors. Now, the same writers, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, are coming back. That's really cool. That's really awesome. I'm glad that they're coming back.
Yeah.
And we're also getting some new characters. I really wanted to see Nicolas Cage back as Spider-Man Noir because he was one of the best parts of that movie, and he wasn't in it that much.
When your director says, make it more Nicolas Cage to Nicolas Cage.
You just get Nicolas Cage to be in it.
Yes, then you've casted the role right.
And another thing that concerns me, it's the fact that it's a part 1. Historically speaking, Part 1 movies are very, very inferior to their Part 2s, which is understandable. You know, Deathly Hallows Part 1 was not that great of a movie. Dare I say Breaking Dawn Part 1, even though the Twilight Saga was one of the worst franchises I've ever seen. Part 1 was historically and commercially and critically, it was one of the worst movies ever made. But also, you know, Mockingjay with the Hunger Games. That's really concerning me with Across the Spider-Verse, that it's a part 1. Okay, how much story are you going to be telling in this part 1, and how much are you going to leave over for part 2?
Gotcha.
So I hope I'm wrong. I hope it becomes the number 1 highest movie rated all over the place.
Yep.
Now, when it comes to streaming.
1 second, Mitch, before you move on to your streaming one, I want to because I won't say much about Across the Spider-Verse because I will be talking about it later. But
wait, foreshadowing?
Foreshadowing.
You spoiled it for me.
No, don't you dare.
You spoiled.
Don't you dare.
Spoiled.
No spoilers.
Okay.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
There's no spoilers for No Way Home in here.
Oh, okay.
I promise.
All
I will say, all I will say is Twilight was the best franchise ever written and put to screen.
God.
Right underneath 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh.
That is the best franchise
right
ever, period.
So the people at home, you cannot see a door, but I literally just pointed to it and told Zach to leave.
This is my apartment.
Even though this is your apartment. This was my idea. This podcast was my idea.
How dare you? All right. So as you were saying, you're streaming.
It's not a movie, but it's gonna be a Disney Plus original, and everybody's gonna be talking about it. It's the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. We're all excited for Obi-Wan Kenobi. We want to see Ewan McGregor back with the beard, with the gray beard.
Oh, I'm gonna say this right now. That's also my streaming.
That is also
part.
your streaming.
Yeah. As a Star Wars fan, I cannot wait for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And also, I would have to mention, the Disney Plus originals for the Star Wars franchise. Mandalorian is very good. The Book of Boba Fett got off to a slow start for me, but this recent episode was really good.
Good.
I have not seen Visions, the animated show.
Okay.
I've heard good things.
They're hit and miss for me. I thought there were some episodes that were really done really well. My personal favorite was about a rogue. Basically,
okay. I don't want any spoilers.
I won't. But he's it's the very first episode of Visions, and I think that the animation style and the storytelling that they did was very, very wonderful. And each one of the Visions are completely separate stories and completely just like anthologies, basically, but they are also different. Some of them hit, some of them miss. It just kind of depends on what your kind of style is, because each do such different things with Star Wars, and I think that's what Star Wars needs, is for us to start doing different things. But then again, Obi-Wan Kenobi is my most anticipated streaming, so that's something going back to original.
Well, another thing that everybody is talking about this show, not just because Ewan McGregor's coming back, but the fact that Hayden Christensen is coming back as Darth Vader. Now, I know a lot of people are wondering, he's going to be in the costume. Yeah. But is James Earl Jones going to come back as the voice?
That I don't know.
I mean, I would be okay if he didn't come back because, James Earl Jones, he's going to retire soon. Yeah. He's getting older. I think he just turned 90, I think a couple weeks ago. Yeah, so he's getting up there. So, and I would be totally okay if Hayden Christensen did the voice.
Oh, yeah.
And you can
voice mod him.
Absolutely.
You can still basically have Hayden still voicing the character, and then just put an inflection of James Earl Jones.
Or you could also have the last episode set before Rogue One and have him decide okay, I'm going to change this voice because it still sounds like Anakin. Now, I know people would say but you just because you heard James Earl Jones at the end of episode 3. That's fine. You could make it to where, okay, I liked that voice that we heard in episode 3. I'm going to change it back to that because he modified his voice in that bodysuit.
Yep.
So I would be okay with whatever they go for.
Yeah.
If they decide that both of them would voice him, like one episode do Hayden, one episode do James Earl Jones, that would be cool.
Or just do a mix. I think it would be really, really interesting. But yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi is definitely, if it wasn't a streaming, it would be my number one.
But what's your honorable mention?
My honorable mention is actually a movie that was going to be theatrically released, but was recently pulled.
Was it a Pixar movie?
That it was. It was Pixar's Turning Red. So
what a shame.
The first teaser trailer didn't inspire me all that much. I wasn't sure what this movie was. A red panda jumping from roof to roof to roof. I was like,
I don't think anybody really knew, because when they announced it during the Investor Day of 2020, nobody had a clue what this movie was about or what it was.
But I think it's going to be a wonderful coming of age story with a very interesting twist, and very much one of the directors that I'm really excited about. I don't know if you know this, but the director Domi Shi actually directed the short film Bao that played right before Incredibles 2.
Was it Bao? Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to be the director for Turning Red.
Really?
So I loved Bao as a short film, so I'm really excited to see what she does in a full feature-length animated movie.
And I think you and I can both agree it's going to be a good movie. The only bad movie I've seen Pixar make was Cars 2, and we don't talk about that movie.
We do talk about Bruno. We do not talk about Cars 2.
And it's funny because I know a lot of people that just love the Cars franchise, but I always mention, okay, you love Cars. What about Cars 2? And they are just immediately silent because that movie is just so beyond like horrible.
No, I love Mater. Tuh Mater without the tuh.
With Larry the Cable Guy.
With Larry the Cable Guy.
And I am also interested to see that show that's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not talking about that.
No.
We are talking about our top 10. Would you mind if I started?
Absolutely. Mitch, go ahead.
Okay. My top 10 is... Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you sure?
My anticipation is building.
It's Avatar 2.
Oh.
So,
okay.
This is a forgotten movie, I feel. And rightfully so. The first Avatar came out in 2009, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me double check that really quick. Go ahead and keep on talking. I'll verify.
Okay. So while my secretary is verifying my
don't you dare.
My stats,
don't you dare.
my stats, my statistics, I believe it was 2009.
Yep,
I know
2009.
It
Avatar.
was 2009. Thanks for interrupting me, Zach. This is my time. Okay. How dare you? Hush. Thank you. So the reason why I have Avatar 2 in my top 10, I didn't really want to put it in my top 10. I wanted it to be a little lower, but there was a few other movies that just didn't make the 10.
Gotcha.
And I really wanted to see what Avatar 2 is going to do, because I know they're going to push the boundaries with performance capture. They're going to do some scenes underwater.
Oh, yeah.
We got Kate Winslet in this, reuniting her with James Cameron. A few things that worry me about this movie. I just have to say that Sam Worthington as Jake Sully, he's not a good actor. I do have to say that.
There are some things I feel he's worked. I thought Attack of the Titans.
Oh, Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans,
yes.
my fault. Oh, how dare I say Attack of the Titans? But I think I got Attack on Titan and Clash of the Titans mixed up. But
he's just not a good actor.
Yeah,
I feel like he could be better.
Think he can too.
But the whole time in Avatar, it was literally Zoe Saldana and Sigourney Weaver.
Yep.
Both those two great actresses were literally carrying him through the entire movie.
100%.
Well, the fact that they're bringing back the villain too, that's exciting, because he did die. The fact that James Cameron's been writing these movies for a while. But the fact of the matter is, do people really want to see a second Avatar? I know the first one ended on a big cliffhanger, and people have been wanting to see this movie for a long time. But that's the thing. This movie is coming out 13 years after the first one.
Yeah.
Are people really going to want to see this movie 13 years after the first one?
We also do know that Avatar was, for the longest time, the highest grossing movie of all time.
Until Endgame.
And
but now it's back. Yeah.
It took Endgame. It took 10 years for even another movie to come close to that.
Well, and I do not think it's going to be that high. I don't think so. I really believe that people they're going to struggle coming to see this. They're going to be like, okay, do we really want to see this movie? But if it's really good, if critics are loving it, if it's getting good word of mouth, people will go see it.
Yeah.
Because of how visual stunning it's going to be. I'm not going to deny that.
That's how I feel like it actually got its highest grossing, was because of word of mouth. And if you want to talk about box office, the box office drop off was under 40%.
Right.
Every single week to week.
Right.
It had legs that we have never ever seen in a movie before and since. The movie was just brought on by such good word of mouth because of how visually stunning that Pandora was.
Well, and if you really go back into it, because I've rewatched that movie a couple times, its plot line is not that great.
It's the epitome of the biggest slow burn of a generation.
You know, it followed a lot of the same plot line as Pocahontas, except
Dances with Wolves.
Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
Someone made the joke of, okay, James Cameron copied Dances with Wolves and Pocahontas. Is he going to copy Terminator 2 with this one? And which he directed Terminator 2. That wouldn't be necessarily a bad thing. No, absolutely not. It's just time will tell. I'm a little concerned with the length it took for this movie to get made. I know it took a while for him to write the script, to get it ready, but also the one last thing before I go to your top 10, Mr. Zach, is the fact that when he was writing this movie, he was writing 3, 4, 5, and 6. And not only were they filming Avatar 2, they were also filming 3, 4, and 5.
Yep.
Why? Why don't you just finish with the second one, and then, because if number 2 is bad, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are not going to get made.
No, those are probably going to be Disney Plus exclusives.
But even so, if number 2 is bad, and chances are it could be bad.
Yeah,
it could be bad.
It can.
Those movies are not going to get made, and they're going to be left on the cutting room floor for a long time.
The one thing that Avatar 2 is not on my top 10, but the one thing that I will say that I'm excited about it is that James Cameron has been working on this for over 10 years. He genuinely believes in this project. It's probably one of the biggest things that he has genuinely believed in. And he himself, I know, has stepped away from being a director.
Yeah, he wanted to make Alita, I remember, didn't he?
He wanted to make Alita, but he eventually gave it up. He wanted to direct some of the Terminator movies, but he then went down to producer because he just believed in Avatar. He wanted to exclusively work on Avatar. So James Cameron is an amazing storyteller, and I think we have to trust him at least for Avatar 2. So I'm really excited to see what he has in store for us, but I also am very skeptical because
I also am too, yes.
I was not. I love the visuals and everything when it came out, but I was not a fan of the story even when it came out.
Not at all.
I genuinely was not a fan. So I'm excited to see what he does with the world, because Pandora itself is beautiful and amazing, and there's so much you can do with Pandora, but there's not a whole. But I'm a little cautious about its story.
But I do know one thing. Is that I want to hear your number 10.
Okay. Hopefully my storytelling will be good on this one.
Absolutely.
But
or at least your acting is better than Sam Worthington. If he ever listens to this, I apologize, Sam, but your acting is just poor.
We believe in you, bud. We believe you can take an acting class. But if you want to talk about actors, here's my number 10. This is going to be Bullet Train, David Leitch's new action film that's going to be coming out this year.
I do like David Leitch.
The synopsis is 5 assassins aboard a fast-moving bullet train find out their missions have something in common.
5 assassins?
5 different assassins going after different targets.
Oh, they're not the same assassins?
No, But here's the thing.
Wow.
Speaking of the speaking of those assassins, check out this cast list.
There's a cast?
It's got Sandra Bullock, Brad Pitt, Zazie Beetz, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Brian Tyree Henry, Joey King, Michael Shannon, and Haruki Sanada. All huge actors, each like being very specific in different ways, like Haruki Sanada in his kung fu. You have Michael Shannon, who's more of a drama, along with Sandra Bullock.
Well, and you have having Brad Pitt, and he can do a lot of things.
He's a multi-talented actor.
Yes.
The only thing that I really have not seen him do well is sing. But
I don't think he's been in a musical before.
But he hasn't been in a musical. He has sung, but
really?
he has sung. Yes, actually, he did it for a joke in one of the what movie was that?
Really?
I can't remember. It's a George Clooney one where
was it Oceans?
Blanking. No, it wasn't Oceans.
Oh, it wasn't Oceans.
It was recent, but it was so bad. It had Channing Tatum, George Clooney. It was interesting.
We'll get back to you.
We'll get back to me on that. But anyway, this entire cast list of Bullet Train is phenomenal. So
now, is it a comedy or is it a drama?
With the Bullet Train?
The Bullet Train.
It's an action film.
Oh, it's an action.
It's an action drama film.
Ooh.
So I'm really excited to have David Leitch, whose John Wick films are amazing. I'm so excited to see what he does.
The only thing that this movie is missing from the cast that you've mentioned, there's no Keanu Reeves.
That's true.
Okay, so let's just say, for like sake of argument, what if Keanu Reeves replaced Brad Pitt, because him and Sandra Bullock worked on Speed together. That would be so cool.
Wait, what if it's a John Wick universe? Maybe maybe Bullet Train is the second in a John Wick universe.
Well, I think Atomic Blonde, the movie with Charlize Theron, that's in the John Wick franchise.
It is?
Sure. I think they want it to be.
Ooh. If you want to do a spy movie correctly,
don't watch 355.
Don't watch 355 and watch
John Wick.
Well, that, but also watch Atomic Blonde.
Yeah,
Atomic Blonde is a very well put together, basically spy thriller. It's so wonderful with a whole awesome ton of action.
I sadly have not seen that movie, but I will add it to my list.
Oh, absolutely. All right. So speaking of your list, I want to hear your number 9.
My number 9.
Your number 9.
My absolute goodness. Number 9. It's lower on the list than what I think it probably should be.
Okay.
It is Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever.
Interesting. Okay.
So I know a lot of people think it should be their number 1 or number 2 or number 3 or whatever. It's definitely in a lot of people's top 2 or 3. The thing that worries me about Black Panther 2, I just have to address the elephant in the room. There is no more Chadwick Boseman. May he rest in peace.
Yes.
Chadwick Boseman in Black Panther. When I was watching the first Black Panther and Chadwick Boseman in that movie, I literally felt like Chadwick Boseman was leaving a legacy. I feel like deep down he knew he was having health problems.
Yep.
But during that entire movie, it was literally him putting his Black Panther paw print on Hollywood, number 1, and also on society, because that movie, it was his legacy. That was his legacy, kind of like what Sidney Poitier did, what Will Smith is still doing. You could also make comparisons to a lot of the civil rights movement. He left a big stamp.
And at that time, you have to look at just how many movies he was in.
He wasn't in a lot.
Oh, but he was.
He was in 42.
He was in 42. He was in the James Brown movie. He was in Black Panther. He was basically doing all these movies at once
about great black men.
And that's the thing. I think he knew that his time was starting to wind down. So he just was like, anything. Give me anything and everything, and I will give it my all.
And he did. He literally made that movie. If Chadwick Boseman is not in Black Panther, that movie is not successful. I will take that to the grave. Gotcha. And yes, Wakanda, beautiful. Ryan Coogler, great director. Have you seen Creed?
Oh yeah,
Creed is a great movie. This man is a talent enough. Yes. I mean, I can't even begin to comprehend what goes through that mind of his. But Chadwick Boseman, the fact that he is no longer there, it's a big hole to fill. I am curious to see if his sister Shuri that
Played by Letitia Wright. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm hoping she fills the void. I know there's been problems behind the scenes. They unfortunately have paused their production due to another COVID outbreak.
Yep.
Will this movie be made in time for the November release date? That's another concern of mine.
Time will definitely
tell. I do know this for a fact. It is an MCU film.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the MCU films recently have been very, very good. So that's not my concern. It's just the concern, that fact that there's no Chadwick Boseman.
That's fair.
It's really, really a shame that he wasn't able to make this movie. I hope they give him a perfect send-off. I hope they honor his legacy, because during the entire Black Panther movie, it just felt like a legacy. It felt like we were in the midst of seeing not just a classic film, but something so powerful being made.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's just not in it, it's going to leave a big hole.
That it will.
But you know what also is a big hole?
Yeah.
Your number 9 that I haven't heard.
Oh, now this movie is not going to be a big hole. I believe that this is going to be I'm really excited for this.
Okay.
Because my number 9, let me make sure I get my title right on this one because it's a mouthful. It's Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Is that a title, or are you just telling me?
I'm just dropping some really metaphysical knowledge on you.
Really?
Yeah,
like,
it's
okay.
your
Can I write that down? Okay.
Yeah, everything, everywhere, all at once.
Okay, so it's right here.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the title? What's the title?
It's Mitch. You see that door over there?
No, hey. Hey is for horses, man.
So Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. The trailer dropped earlier this year. It's about an aging Chinese immigrant who attempts to save the world by connecting to her multiversal selves. It's a multiverse movie that isn't in a comic book.
So we're getting a DC multiverse movie?
No, not a DC movie.
Well, let me finish. We are getting a DC multiverse movie. We are getting a Marvel multiverse movie. And we're getting a random multiverse movie that has no connection to either of them.
Exactly, which makes me so excited about it.
I can tell. You're about jumping up and down the ground.
I love the idea that we are starting to get into the idea of multiverses, not just in comic books, but across all storytelling mediums. Now, this is going to be an action movie, but I think it's going to be a really wonderful take on an action movie because I feel like now that we are starting to break into multiple versions of ourselves and talk about how because I feel like with the multiverse, you kind of lead to how people are kind of different people all throughout their lives. Right. Or like if you made a decision this way, where would your life be then? Or if you made
what kind
a
of variant
this
would you
way.
be? Yeah.
So like I think it's such an interesting concept, and the idea that we get to have a multiverse movie here just outside of comic books is amazing.
Well, the fact that you're bringing this and they're bringing a movie like this that isn't related to any comic book or superhero franchise, it's going to make people think that, so I'm doing this now, but what would a different universe version of me or a variant of me be doing right now? It makes you think.
It's you would be sitting doing a podcast with
another person that I work with.
No, I think you would be doing a podcast with. I'm gonna start typing the name.
You're gonna start typing the name?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna start typing the name.
Oh, you think I'm gonna be doing that with Sam Worthy?
That I do.
You know who I think you would be. You know who I think you would be. What's an actor you don't like?
My least favorite actor currently.
That is another time. I think, Zach. We're talking about most anticipated movies, not least favorite actors.
You're right. I'm so sorry. But speaking of our list, I really want to hear your number 8.
Really?
No.
Okay, then. You can tell me about your number 8.
No. But ladies first.
There's no lady here, sir.
Then where's my girlfriend? Hello?
Are you sure she's your girlfriend? Because I was told she's mine.
She's cheating on me. I knew it.
That is yeah, sorry I had to break the news to you this time.
Oh, no.
Okay, so my number 8. I cannot believe this movie is in my top 10. It is Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
You're kidding me.
I never thought I was, especially after the trailer for the first Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
With what, I don't even know what Sonic was. He literally looked like a possessed cat. That is exactly what he looked like.
That's exactly an apt description of whatever monstrosity that was.
Then I saw the movie, and so I was gonna see it regardless because I enjoy the Sonic games playing on the original Sega. I haven't really played any of his recent games.
Okay.
But I saw the trailer. I did not like it at all. But then they announced they were going to change his design, which I was very happy.
Yeah.
And another thing that really had me excited was the fact that they had Jim Carrey. I love Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is one of the funniest actors you will ever come across.
100% agree.
And then I saw some of the reviews. They said it was a good movie. I was hearing good things, word of mouth.
Yep.
So I went to go see it. Not with this movie's going to be great. Oh, this movie's going to be bad. I went into it with an open mind.
Just you wanted to be entertained.
I wanted to be entertained. The pandemic hadn't started yet because this came out right before the pandemic.
Right before.
And I saw it and I was watching it and I was laughing the entire time. But it wasn't just Jim Carrey that was funny.
Yeah.
I think it's James Marsden. He was funny in it and he's not. Every time I see him, I think of Cyclops.
I always think, to be honest, what I always think of whenever I see him.
Not 27 Dresses?
No.
Okay.
I've been dreaming of a true love's kiss.
I have not seen that movie.
Enchanted. Every single time I see him, I just think of him as being the prince from Enchanted.
I didn't know this was a musical podcast, but okay. Okay, so I unfortunately cannot sing, but I will talk to you about this movie. It wasn't just Jim Carrey was funny. Marsden was funny. Sonic was funny. The whole movie itself was just, you could tell the whole time it was being made, everybody was just having a grand time making that movie. And that's what you need to do. You need to have a great time while you're making that movie. But then they teased that they were making a sequel. I was hoping they would make it, but I wasn't going to be disappointed if they didn't because it's going to be hard to top the first one. Now, was it a perfect movie? No. But then they announced that Jim Carrey was coming back, and Jim Carrey does not come back for sequels.
He does not.
He has never. I mean, I know he came back for Dumb and Dumber 2. There's talk he may come back for another Ace Ventura.
But he rarely does sequels unless he truly believes in them.
Right. And the fact that he's coming back, it's so exciting because he's just going to be the best. He's going to do the best job he ever possibly could do to be funnier than what he was. And the fact that he's bald again, because he'd been bald for the Count Olaf.
Yep.
He was even funnier in that movie, I would say.
And I think I agree with you. The reason why I would be so excited to go see Sonic again is because this is a Jim Carrey that we haven't seen
in years.
I know. And he genuinely feels like 1990s Jim Carrey.
I know.
Peak Jim Carrey. Like Ace Ventura called a wild Jim Carrey. Like I just
When Nature Calls.
When Nature Calls. Sorry. Yep.
Or Dumb and Dumber and all that.
Yeah, like he genuinely feels like he's getting back to himself, and after all the personal struggles that he's been through recently, I'm glad to see that he seems like he's starting to do better.
And one quick thing before I get to your number 8. The fact that they've got Idris Elba as Knuckles. And I am not going to lie, when I saw the trailer for Sonic 2, I mean, the trailer wasn't bad.
No.
But it was entertaining. Yeah. But then when Knuckles came and you heard Elba's voice, do I look like I need your power? That was bad, sorry. But it was... That got me so excited because now you're going to see Knuckles and Sonic go at it.
Yep, and I cannot wait to see your voice acting career.
My voice acting career. I mean, I did take acting classes.
There we go. I believe in you.
My degree was theater performance.
And my degree was in musical theater, even though that singing was terrible with I've been dreaming of a true love's kiss. But seriously, it's...
You know what I've been dreaming of? Your... Number 8?
My number 8?
What did you think I was dreaming of?
Oh, I thought you were dreaming of cookies.
Cookies?
Yeah, the dark side, man.
What kind of cookies?
They have cookies.
What kind of cookies?
Chocolate chip. Maybe some oatmeal raisin if you're bland.
I was dreaming of neither of those cookies.
Oh, yeah. Well, were you dreaming of Gideon's cookies? Not sponsored.
I've never been to Gideon's cookies.
You've never been to Gideon's?
I've never been to Gideon's.
Oh.
I want to get to your
Next
number
time we're going to be
8.
streaming live from Gideon's. But my number 8 is going to be DC's Black Adam.
Black Adam.
Black Adam.
And that is our first comic book related movie in one of our top 10s. I can't believe we got it. Well, no,
you
Black
had
Panther.
You had Black Panther. You had Black Panther.
I did have Black Panther. What I meant to say was our first DC.
Yes.
And there's a lot of DC movies coming out this year.
There are, but Black Adam is going to be my number 8. This movie was announced way before Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice. It basically almost predates the DC universe.
Well, so I think a quick timeline. So they made Man of Steel.
Yep.
And then they announced the next year. No, they announced a couple weeks after Man of Steel came out. They announced Batman v Superman.
Yep.
And then the next month,
couple like a month later, they
announced that slate, that big slate, and I thought it was funny how all the movies that were on that slate, like we saw Man of Steel, obviously, we saw Batman v Superman, we didn't see that match.
Here's the thing. Actually, like a month later was when they announced Black Adam.
Oh, they did, didn't they?
They did, with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson leading it.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a year or two later, they announced the entire slate in like the most weirdest way possible over like a board meeting.
Yeah, it was a board meeting.
It was like a board meeting. So what I will say about Black Adam is that while we don't know very much about the plot,
I know nothing about Black Adam.
I'm really excited just to see this very morally gray character come to the silver screen with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who is a powerhouse actor. I will eat up anything Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson does.
Is it because you get a chance to see him shirtless?
No, but it is about drive. It is about power. We stay hungry and we devour The Rock. Not only because we get to see this wonderful morally great character, but also because we get to see him eventually in the universe of Shazam, which I think is a very underrated DC movie. I think that Shazam was such a very wonderful family piece and such a really funny movie that was totally juxtaposed all of DC's current things. So I was just so happy that we're not only going to get Black Adam, but we're also going to get him with the Shazam family.
I will say this, I know there's a lot of fanboys that want Black Adam to go at Henry Cavill's Superman.
Yep.
The fact that we are not going to get that, because Dwayne Johnson's been wanting that for a while.
Oh yeah, he's always been a thing that he's been talking about for like the past 10 years.
Yeah,
he's
been wanting to go at it with him for a long time. But a nice little runner-up would be to see Zachary Levi, and because Zachary Levi is hilarious. He was hilarious in that in Shazam. But to see somebody as funny as Zach Levi and somebody as like
morally serious and gray as Black Adam.
Well, and not only that, but Dwayne Johnson can be funny.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, saw him in Jungle Cruise. He was hilarious in
Oh,
Jungle
absolutely
Cruise.
Hilarious in Jungle Cruise.
Now, I don't know if that's the direction they want to go with this.
I don't think they're going to do that with Black Adam. I think there might be some comedic moments to break up some tension, but I think this is going to be, again, a darker DC movie.
Did you also see who else is going to be in Black Adam?
Oh, yeah.
Pierce Brosnan. It is Brosnan, right?
It's 007.
Hold on. Which 007? Because Sean Connery, he passed.
He's R.I.P.
It's not George Lazenby.
No.
No. It's not Roger Moore. Roger Moore, he rip.
R.I.P.
It's not Timothy Dalton.
So no.
It's not Daniel Craig.
It's not Daniel Craig.
So
R.I.P.
Who is
R.I.P. in movie wise?
Who is in, it was Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, it's Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan is going to be playing a very wonderful, very zany character.
Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate.
Yes.
I'm really excited to see him as well as Dr. Fate. But do you know what?
Thankfully, we are not going to hear him sing.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Okay. Thank God. But I will say, do you want to know what I'm also thanking God for?
You want to hear me sing?
No, I want to hear your number 7. If you want to sing your number 7, that's okay. But,
no, I can't.
Okay.
I cannot. So my number 7 is another video game adaptation.
Another video game adaptation.
It is Uncharted.
There it is.
So I am so excited for Uncharted. I mean, you cannot go wrong with this cast. I mean, you have Tom Holland as a young Nathan Drake. You have Mark Wahlberg. You have Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
And I love
as a villain.
Well,
as a villain.
This is the second time he's played a villain because did you see that second SpongeBob movie?
Oh, yeah.
He was so funny in that movie.
So funny. It's because he didn't treat it seriously. I feel like, which is the point.
But I feel like he's not. He's gonna take this movie seriously.
Oh, 100%.
But every time I see him, I'm like, Zorro, hello,
hello.
But I think he's gonna be amazing in this. Oh, yeah. And the director for Uncharted is he's the same guy who did Zombieland.
Okay.
It was I can't think. It was the same guy who did Venom, I think.
Yeah.
While Zach will get on
I
to
will
that.
see who that is.
He will get to that in a few seconds while I continue talking about this movie. But or look up Uncharted.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, that is much better. But the fact that you have Tom Holland, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's just him. It's just Spider-Man. It's just Spider-Man." But he looks the part of Nathan Drake. Ruben Fleischer. That's
Ruben Fleischer. Yeah.
He's solid. He is a solid.
Very
director.
solid director.
I know the writers. I'm not too keen on them, but it's the fact that they have him, the director of Venom and Zombieland. The fact that he is he is going to make this movie.
Yep.
It has me really, really excited because he knows visually masterful type of pictures for these movies.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And the fact that they have Mark Wahlberg and he's gonna be growing a mustache, that has me so excited. But it's not just that; it's the fact that Uncharted is literally people playing a movie.
Yeah,
and it's the fact that this movie that they're playing, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4, it's finally coming to the screen. People are going to be really, really excited and ecstatic to see this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it helps that you see Tom Holland like jumping around like a wild man and saying like, "Oh, crap," and everything. But it's so cool to see Tom Holland in a film other than Spider-Man.
Oh, 100%.
I know he was in, what was it, Cherry? It was one of those drama movies, and he did really well from what I heard.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. Like, Tom Holland, he started in music theater. He was a little Billy Elliot.
He was.
His young acting career was actually really, really good.
And he was in, what is it, The Impossible?
The Impossible with Ewan McGregor. And
so he's got chops.
He's got chops, and he proved that before Spider-Man. But I'm happy that he's trying to now start to branch out from Spider-Man and start to show, like, hey, yeah, I can still, like, I can act, but I can, like, act.
Well,
like
it's
actor.
not. Well, even though he's playing a young Nathan Drake in the video games, I'm gonna say he was pushing late 30s, early 40s, maybe even 50s.
He was basically Nathan Fillion.
Pretty much, yeah. I know in the fourth one I think he was pushing 50.
Yeah.
In the fourth video game, whereas this movie, he looks to be pushing mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
Which is great.
It's a side that we haven't seen of that character before.
And it's also something that we haven't seen in Tom Holland, because Tom Holland, when he's playing Peter Parker, he's in high school.
Yeah.
He's in high school. We have not seen him play a young adult. No, we have not.
No.
So that's also something I'm really excited to see. And another thing, speaking of Mark Wahlberg, we have not seen him play like a father figure in movies before.
Not really.
Not really.
We've seen him play a leader. We've seen him play
a dork and Ted. A rock star. I remember. Like in the 90s.
he always plays like that kind of like cool uncle.
Yeah,
you know?
I do remember him playing cool uncle. I know. Have you seen The Departed?
Yeah.
I know he played like the buddy cop, not the buddy cop, but the sidekick detective.
But he just kind of plays that like kind of cool uncle vibe.
Yeah, but
like not a dad, but
no.
I would ask him for alcohol.
Absolutely,
if I was underage.
Yeah. But the fact that he's playing kind of a father figure in this movie is so different from Mark Wahlberg.
Oh yeah.
Because I know in the trailers, you see Nathan Drake like touching his ear when he's trying to communicate with him via the ear mic.
Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg's like, "Stop touching your ear. You're looking like an idiot." But that's something a dad would do.
Yeah.
That's something a dad would do. Like, like when you're in a sport and you do something that makes you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
And that's something your dad would do. Like, "Stop doing that. You're looking like an idiot." But that's totally something that a dad would do. And it's something I would never see Mark Wahlberg doing.
Well, and I will say, I think Uncharted is going to be a really great movie. I think it's, it doesn't, one of the great things that I will say about the first Sonic movie that it did is broke that video game movie curse.
Yes.
So we've now seen that a video game movie can do well and can be enjoyed.
And more people want to make these movies. Like I know the new Mario movie's coming out.
Yep, we have a Halo series coming out. They are now seeing that video game movies can be successful if they're done right.
And not Assassin's Creed.
I feel like Uncharted is in the same vein, and out of any video game franchise, period, amen, like any video game, I feel like Uncharted is the best one to adapt to the silver screen because it's a very action adventure, almost Indiana Jones like
it is.
film. So
that's another thing that that's why I had to put it in my top 10. I had to. I feel like this top 10 wouldn't have been complete, even though this is only my 7th.
Yeah.
It would not be complete without Uncharted. Oh, yeah. And it's coming out soon. It's coming out. You know what else is coming out soon? Your number 7.
Oh, you're right. My list is incomplete still so far. So my number 7.
You mean we're gonna end this list on our number 7?
Yes, we're done. This is it. That's the end of the podcast.
But we got more. But we got more to say.
Okay, fine. I'll go ahead and move on with my number 7.
Thank you.
All right. So my number 7 actually might surprise some people with it not being maybe a little bit higher, but it is actually gonna be Matt Reeves' Batman.
Only your number 7.
Only my number 7 didn't even make the top 5.
So I will say it is in my top 10. It is in this list. It is not, obviously it's not my number 7, but it is really high on my list.
I do not want to say, again, this is my top 10 movies that I'm anticipated for, so I am very much looking forward to the Batman. It is going to be, I think, really, really great. I think it's going to showcase a part of Batman that we really haven't seen on the silver screen yet.
So I'm going to take a quick potty break because this is in my top 10 and it's very high on the list. Yeah. So I'm going to step out and be real quiet.
Okay, absolutely.
And I'm back.
Absolutely. But I'll go ahead and carry on. So the big things that I want to go ahead and point to with the Batman that I'm excited for is that I feel like with Matt Reeves' direction of action, I think it's really exciting to see him take on the Batman. I love how he lingers in a shot on action, and he allows the action just pretty much to unfold in front of you. Right. I really appreciate that. While also this might be an action movie, I don't think the action is going to be at the focus of this movie. I really genuinely think this is going to be a Bruce Wayne Batman film that is focusing on Bruce Wayne and Batman's detective skills and making him earn and scarier. And it doesn't need to be R to be good. It just needs to have a good story, a good plot, and some really awesome characters. And I feel like Robert Pattinson as our Batman, as our Bruce Wayne, and Zoe Kravitz as our Catwoman they're going to kill it. I think they're going to absolutely do wonderful, and I'm really excited. The biggest thing I'm excited about is I feel like this movie is going to tackle with the Riddler as the villain. We're going to actually see the Batman, the world's greatest detective.
Yes, something we've never seen.
Something that we've never seen on the silver screen before, which I'm really excited about.
I feel like we've seen bits and pieces of it, but not a lot.
Not a lot. So I'm really excited to see Matt Reeves' take on the Batman. You know what, though? Like I said, that was only my number 7. I really want to see what your number 6 is. Your penultimate number 6 before number 5.
Well, it's not the Batman because it's higher than that.
Okay, absolutely.
But it does have something to do with a bat.
Oh, really?
It is. And it was recently delayed to April Fool's Day, but you know what? It's still 2022.
Still 2022.
It is Morbius.
Morbius.
So, this is an interesting little release date that they have for Morbius. Yeah. I do believe this is not a coincidence.
Okay.
We all know that Moon Knight is coming March 30th.
Yes.
That is 2 days before Morbius.
Yes.
Why would they delay Morbius? I know everybody's saying that Andrew Garfield may be in it, or Tobey Maguire, or Tom Hardy, or Tom Holland may be in this movie.
COVID
may have something to do with it. But why would they delay this movie for it to come out 2 days before a Disney Plus Marvel show?
That's a good question, sir. That is a really good question.
I know time will tell, but the thing that's really, really exciting about Morbius, it's not the fact that you may see him fight Spider-Man, whether it's Andrew Garfield or Tom Holland, or that he may fight Venom or whoever, or that he may, but it's the fact.
Or team up, maybe.
Or team up, yes. But it's the fact. It is the fact. And I do believe this is possible.
Okay.
And I do believe this will happen.
Okay.
The fact that Morbius may fight Blade Mahershala Ali. I think because you know, all the fanboys that are listening right now, ourselves included, we want to see that happen.
Oh, 100%. I want Morbius to throw down with Mahershala Ali's blade.
You cannot come into a movie theater seeing Morbius and not be you cannot not be excited for the fact that those two may go at it, because you need a blade. You need a blade for Morbius. And yes, everybody's saying, "Oh, but Morbius is a Spider-Man villain." Yes, that's true, but Morbius is a vampire.
Yeah.
Blade is a vampire hunter.
Yeah.
You need Morbius to have a blade. You need Blade to have a Morbius.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what universe it is. Right. I want it to happen.
I think it will happen. I don't know when it will happen. I know Jared Leto definitely wants it to happen.
Oh yeah.
Mahershala Ali hasn't said anything about it, but you know he wants it. You know he wants it. Oh, yeah. And Disney and Sony, they've announced Disney, Marvel, and Sony. Yes. They have a good working relationship.
They have established how. It was a little worrying after
Far From
Home, when it looked like Spider-Man was done in the MCU right out of the gate, especially with that cliffhanger. But it seems like
they've got it back.
They've got it back, and they've got it better than ever. Because before it was just like, Sony, you can. We want to share Spider-Man. Can we just do that for a couple of films? And Sony was like, yeah, absolutely. But now it looks like it's a genuine collaboration.
But it's not just that. It's the fact that they want a multiverse. Both Sony and Marvel Disney wants this multiverse to happen, and they want it to be a success.
Yes, it's genuinely a have your cake and eat your ice cream too situation.
Well, it's not. Well, also the fact that they both know how much money these movies are going to make.
Yeah,
they know that, and it's so. I mean, so if let's just say, for sake of argument, that Morbius comes out, will it make a lot of money? It could, but with the theaters being the way it is, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it'll still be a success.
Yeah, I think it will. I think it will.
Think of the fact that if you have later on in whatever year, there's a big crossover.
Yeah.
With like Blade, Spider-Man, and all of them, and you have Morbius in there, you have Venom in there. If you have in this movie some form of like Easter egg, or kind of what they did with the Eternals at the end, where you heard Blade's voice.
Yep.
If that is possible and they do that, I mean, I can't even put into words how exciting that is.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
That's something that you want to see. That's something that we need to see.
Oh yeah.
Again, I say this again and again and again. I want to see Blade and Morbius go at it. I want to see a shirtless Jared Leto go at it with a shirtless Mahershala Ali with a sword and sunglasses
and absolutely kicking ass either direction.
Absolutely. But you know what else would really kick ass right about now? It would be your number, not number 5.
Not number 5, not number 4, number 6. Yes, yeah. So
it is number 6, right?
Yes, it is.
For those of you at home, we are in number 6.
We are at number 6. But my number 6 is actually going to be a movie we talked about a little bit earlier. It's going to be Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. It's making a comeback.
So I was wondering why you didn't say much during my Black Panther.
Yeah, so
you disagreed with everything I said.
I didn't disagree with everything you said, but I disagree with most of what you said.
You disagreed. You disagreed with most of what I said. This is our first argument, isn't it?
So here's the thing. Okay. One thing we do agree on. There is a big hole with Chadwick Boseman no longer being in this movie.
Correct.
And obviously, we're not going to resurrect him from the dead in order to just have a movie.
And we're not going to recast him.
Which there are positives and negatives to both sides of recasting and not recasting.
There are both sides to that coin.
But for all the negative things that you said, I think there is a really positive things coming out of this. I think it's really amazing to see just in the world of Wakanda itself, because think about this. They have lost their king.
They have
3 times.
Yeah.
3 times. Once in T'Chaka, once in Black Panther when T'Challa died, and then another time when T'Challa got blipped. So that is three times in the near future that their kings have just gotten obliterated.
Well, you can also add, if you are including all their kings, Killmonger too.
Yep.
He was technically
king. So they have gone through so much, and now to have T'Challa die, a young prince young king that was stepping into his own, and then just got cut off at the knees at a young age when he had so much promise. That creatively is such an interesting way to go about it and discuss the ideas of legacy, of why such a wonderful person and a wonderful actor that Chadwick Boseman was. We can hit that legacy in this film. And I don't know who the next Black Panther is going to be. It has been rumored that it is going to be Letitia Wright, who plays Shuri, his younger sister. Sorry, a little bit of COVID there. Yeah, just kidding. I don't have COVID.
He's dying. Hello. Do I need to leave?
6 feet, man. 6 feet.
I am 6 feet. I'm 6 foot tall.
But we
carry on.
I'm so excited to see who the next Black Panther is going to be, and to see how they carry on this legacy that Chadwick has started.
Something that you pointed out that I did not mention in my pick for Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
It's the fact that you mentioned Wakanda as a city.
Yeah.
That they're losing their king. How is the city going to react?
Yeah.
How are they going to react?
I genuinely don't know.
Are they going to be upset? Are they going to be, obviously they're going to be upset, but how upset are they going to be? What are they going to do? Because that was almost the entire plot of the first Black Panther. Was Wakanda coming into the world as you and I know today.
Yep.
And also, how is Wakanda going to react to the recent times that we are living in now with 2020, with 2021?
Well, and remember, this also takes place, here's the thing. It does take place 5 years in the future. And our 2020, technically with the coronavirus, doesn't exist in that timeline.
Right.
Because of the blip.
True.
Or the snap. The snap, not the blip. So, I mean, they could have had the coronavirus during that 5 years of the snap, but...
I'm talking about...
the Black Lives Matter protests and everything. Yes, that too.
Because they did touch up on that. In the first one.
They did. And I really think that film, I think Wakanda Forever, can look at the current state of affairs, have something happen maybe to bring up that conversation. And I think Ryan Coogler is the best voice to handle that.
And if they do decide to add that to their story, it would make Black Panther even better than the first one, dare I say it, if they go that route. And they could add to that legacy, and also not just make this a classic or a masterpiece. This movie could be, because I know the first one is, this movie could be shown for like up and coming children. Yeah. If they go that route, like, how do we react to things like that? For kids that watch Black Panther 2, if they go down this route, okay, what did the people of Wakanda do? What do we need to do?
Well, and that's the thing. Art can genuinely inform generations. Yes. So I really am excited to see what possibilities that Wakanda Forever opens up. But do you know what possibilities that I'm really looking forward to?
Oh, what
I'm looking forward to your top 5 of your anticipated movies. The possibilities are endless, but you only have 5.
I only have 5.
You only have 5. So I want to hear just your number 5 right now.
So my number 5 is a 4. Is a number 4 in a series of films.
Oh,
and it is my first MCU pick.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It is Thor: Love and Thunder.
Okay, here we go.
So we're all excited for this movie.
Oh yeah,
we're I love Thor Ragnarok.
Oh,
I'm very disappointed I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters. Why didn't I see it in theaters?
Probably Thor: The Dark World.
No, it wasn't that. What was I doing? Oh, I was in a show. Excuse me.
Oh, that works.
I was in a show. Wait,
Okay.
I didn't know you back then. Why am I asking you?
I can't see the past. I only look to the future.
I don't know. But I wanted it to be a little higher, but it's the fact that, okay, I'm glad they're bringing back Natalie Portman.
Yes. Okay.
But Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman had zero chemistry together. Their chemistry was butt ugly.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
definitely not the best.
But
Okay.
with Taika Waititi coming back as
The
writer-director,
legendary Taika Waititi.
the fact that because he made a big twist on Chris Hemsworth's Thor,
Oh,
made
yeah.
him hilarious, made him
yeah.
so funny. I'm very curious to see if he's able to do that with Natalie Portman, because Natalie Portman's a great actress.
Mm-hmm.
Can he make a twist and make her, even though she may not be funny, because I know that they're going down the cancer route to make her the mighty Thor, make her worthy.
Yes.
I want to see how he twists her blandness, if that's a word, her blandness into like excitement, into funniness, into a little bit more creative. And I also want to point out is, okay, in the storyline where Jane Foster becomes Thor,
Yes.
the original Thor,
Yes.
or Chris Hemsworth,
Yep.
or whoever, he becomes unworthy.
Yes, he does.
How does he become unworthy and Jane Foster becomes worthy?
Well-
And will we see Chris Hemsworth get that hammer or Stormbreaker back?
Well, and that's interesting too, because if you remember during Endgame, one of the big points of that film is when he is back on Asgard and he calls Mjolnir to his hand and he utters, I'm still worthy.
So he's still. I feel like there's still gonna be a little bit of questionable for him, because he left Endgame still a little bit scarred.
Still scarred and uncertain of himself.
Yes, because he still kind of blamed himself for not going for the head in Infinity War. I also am curious to see more of the Asgardians of the Galaxy banter.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I know Chris Pratt is back. I know Vin Diesel and Bradley Cooper and Dave Bautista. And
Everyone's coming back
Everybody's
for it.
coming back. And I also am curious to see what Taika Waititi can do with the Guardians.
Guardians,
That is going to be, I
yeah.
mean, James Gunn does great. with
Oh,
the Guardians.
100%.
But Taika Waititi is going to be so amazing with the Guardians. And the fact that, and of course, to top it all off, Jeff Goldblum is coming back.
yeah,
You
100%.
cannot go wrong with Jeff Goldblum. I mean, Jeff Goldblum makes the top 10 in my list even better just because he's in the top 10. Because, I mean, it's Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum.
Absolutely. But I think you there's one thing that I really want to highlight just before we move on with our lists. With Natalie Portman, they did Jane Foster's character a disservice.
Yeah, very poorly.
by making her just the love interest, pretty much.
'Cause she's very an appealing character.
She was a really great, like whenever she was going into her science stuff.
Yeah.
In
Very
the first,
smart character.
in the first one. Great, really
Absolutely.
wonderful. But her character took a nosedive whenever they started forcing chemistry between the two of them.
Yeah.
And then really took a nosedive when that was all that her character was.
Right.
In Thor: The Dark World, they very much relegated her to that, which did both the character and Natalie Portman a disservice.
I am glad they're giving another shot.
And that's the thing. I feel like Taika has a great grasp on twisting characters, like how you said, but also because she is going to be the mighty Thor. It means that she's not going to be relegated to just the love interest. So she's not going to be filling that void.
Well, you also
she's going to have a different role, so their dynamic is going to be different.
Well,
so that makes me so excited.
One quick question, and then we'll get to your number 5.
Yes.
What happens if those two don't get along originally?
Ooh.
What happens if Jane Foster and Thor don't, like, because they're gonna still be at odds for breaking up.
Oh, 100%.
They will be at odds.
But here's the thing too. This might not be our universe's Jane Foster either.
that is true.
It might be a multiverse Jane Foster.
And one thing that you and I have not mentioned, Christian Bale is going to be the villain, the God Butcher.
There we go. The God Butcher is coming to the MCU, and we cannot wait.
I still can't believe they got Christian Bale.
I can't believe it either, but he is coming, and he's going to come with a vengeance.
You know what else is coming with a vengeance? Your number 5.
My number 5, yes. So This is going to be, you're going to find a theme with my list, is that there's going to be a lot of movies where we don't know very much about them. I just love the optimism of these movies.
I think you can also point out that my movies are very much mainstream and Zach's are very, even though they are still considered mainstream titles, not a lot of people know about them.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Which is great. My number 5 is going to be one that I think everyone's going to have on their radar eventually. It's going to be Disney's Strange World. This is going to be their holiday release, which always Disney Animation saves their big animated movie for their holiday release schedule, usually around Thanksgiving or Christmas, depending on where they put it. This movie is going to be directed by Don Hall, who directed Big Hero 6, which is one of my
I love Big Hero 6.
Most unappreciated.
Big Hero 6 is a good movie.
It's the number 2 unappreciated Disney movie in my opinion, right behind Hunchback of Notre Dame. I love Big Hero 6, and the Baymax series is actually also coming out in Disney Plus this summer. So I'm
it is this summer.
Yeah, this summer.
I completely forgot about that show. Yeah,
but Don Hall is directing Strange World. We don't know very much about this movie,
which I think helps the movie out in the long run.
I think so too,
because we didn't hear about Encanto for a while.
We did not.
I still haven't seen Encanto.
Yeah, it's good.
Is it really
so good?
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
Oh, it's such a good movie. You're gonna have so much fun.
By our next recording, I will have watched Encanto.
Yeah,
Encanto. Yeah.
But so I'll go ahead. The feel of this movie has been pitched as a 1950s sci-fi thriller. So already I'm just thinking of like War of the Worlds, like those black and white B-lister like sci-fi movies.
Well, in the fact that you mentioned the 1950s, that is around the Cuban Missile Crisis. That's something that has not been touched upon for years,
for a while, but they might hit on it, they might not. But it's like
people are going to be digging holes in their basements.
I feel like it's going to be like that 1950s, like just kind of like feel of like.
Retro,
that's sci-fi retro, like how Tomorrowland and like
oh god,
like the ancient, like our ancient quote unquote Tomorrowland was like their version of like 1950s version of 2000 kind of.
Well, and another thing that in the 1950s, their version of the future was what we're living in now. And that's something that a lot of people are forgetting. Like the people in the 1950s, they were looking towards the future and they wanted to see what was going to happen.
Like
and the fact
floating cars
absolutely.
and
like now
teleportation.
all of a sudden, from what you've been saying, and they start to see like UFOs and things like that. That's exciting. That's intriguing.
And that's the thing. I don't think that it's going to take place in the 1950s though. But
really?
When I say 1950s sci-fi feel, I'm thinking of something like War of the Worlds, where if you look, no, you're good. You're good. That was my poor description. It's like it's the
Zach.
I know. I'm sorry. I'll just hang up the cap now. But that's how it was pitched to me. Was it of them saying like it's going to be like this sci-fi movie, like done from like the lens of like a 1950s like sci-fi film. The actual like synopsis though is very short. It is going to be the legendary Clades are a family of explorers whose differences threaten to topple their latest and most crucial mission.
So it's about a family.
It's about a family. And let me, for those of you at home, you're not going to be able to see this, but I recommend that you look up the first set of concept art that has been released for Strange World. And it will kind of show you just kind of how otherworldly this movie.
They got Alan
Tudyk is coming to voice it, but this is
he's done a lot lately.
But this is the concept that they are looking at, and you're basically looking at this alien world, kind of reminiscent of Pandora a little bit, but it's like this nice like pink atmospheric landscape with all these tentacly giraffes.
Well, it's really something Disney hasn't done.
Never. I genuinely believe that this is going to be by far the biggest like feast for the eyes in animation, just off of this concept art alone, because this is going to look so intricate, so diverse, so nothing like we've really ever seen before in animation, and I'm really excited for it.
It looks really cool. I have never seen this.
All of our listeners, I really definitely recommend you.
It's on IMDb.
It's on IMDb. I definitely recommend you look up Strange World and look at this concept art and tell me you are not excited for this film, because this looks amazing in concept.
I'm not excited for this movie.
Don't you dare.
Sorry.
Don't you dare. Okay. But I feel like I feel like not a lot of people are excited for this movie because there's not much about it. Because there's not much about it yet. I think once we start getting trailers and we get more cast announced and everything, I think a lot more people will start getting excited for it. I think D23 will actually be our first look.
Are we going to D23?
Maybe
we might
do
a podcast at D23.
Maybe no. But we're looking at the possibility. We won't say whether or not we are, but we are looking at the possibility of going to D23 this year. All right, but speaking of possibilities, I want to hear the possibility of your number 4.
Well, it's not a possibility. It is here. It is my number 4.
It is now. Okay.
And it is The Flash.
Okay.
So
here
The
we
Flash, obviously, the reason why it's higher than what it should be is the fact that they are bringing back Michael Keaton as Batman. The 70-year-old Michael Keaton is coming back as my favorite Batman.
God, I love nostalgia.
I know. It's just when I heard that it was a possibility, the fact that he was going to be in that suit, I just pictured it in my mind. It just got me so excited for The Flash. I didn't really care about The Flash. I don't really care, but I just want to see Michael Keaton in that Batsuit again, and that's my take. But seriously, not just the fact that they're bringing back Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
The thing that really intrigues me about The Flash, they are doing Flashpoint.
Yeah.
A very famous comic book.
Yep.
Which had very big repercussions on the DC universe afterwards.
The comic DC universe.
The comic book DC universe, yes. Not the DC extended universe as we know it now.
Yes.
I know what they did on the TV with CW with Crisis on Infinite Earths, which they did beautifully. But this one, I feel it's bigger, and it's not just going to have effects on the films. It's also going to have an effect on the TV shows, I think, too. A lot of the TV shows are canceling. They are being done. One thing that really a little bit concerns me, there's rumors going around that it's not going to be Batman and Superman headlining the Justice League. It's going to be Batgirl and Supergirl. Okay. Now, I'm all for Batgirl and Supergirl to have their own films.
Yes.
I'm all for it because they were in bad movies originally.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, a lot of audiences, they want to see Batman and Superman headline the Justice League.
Sure.
They really do. So it's really, 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 it's going to be interesting. If they play it off, great. We all know for a fact that after this movie, the Zack Snyder verse, if you will be gone.
Correct.
Will be gone, which is an absolute shame.
I really enjoyed Ben Affleck as Batman,
and the fact that he is retiring from this role.
After this.
I really wanted to see the Batman movie. I think it would have been a great movie.
Such a wonderful directed and starring.
And
producing
and
by
writing.
by all Ben Affleck, and was supposed to take place in Arkham Asylum, which would have been so cool. But
the fact that there's not going to be a Snyderverse, it really is sad because Zack Snyder's Justice League was a good movie.
Oh yeah,
I know a lot of people said it was long, and it was, but it didn't feel long, and it felt like a movie that Zack Snyder made.
And because it had concept.
Yes, it did.
It had. He knew where he was going when he was crafting his universe.
But it's just the fact that this movie, even though it's gonna be exciting to see something. I want to see Barry Allen go back and save his mom. I want him to meet Michael Keaton, and Michael Keaton becoming more of that older Bruce Wayne. Vis-a-vis Batman Beyond. I love Batman. I will talk about Batman Beyond.
100%.
I love Batman Beyond. I think Michael Keaton is at that right age because he's not going to want to suit up all the time. He's not going to want to be in that suit forever.
No.
And another thing that really intrigued me from the footage that they showed during the DC fandom, Michael Keaton is talking to Barry Allen per se.
Yep.
He said, you changed the past, you changed the future. You have the ability to the Flash has the ability to change any universe. Why do you want to save this one? Meaning Michael Keaton's universe.
Yeah.
Why does he want to save that one? Why does he want to save the Ben Affleck one? Why?
Well, and
Why?
I think the interesting thing is that we
don't know.
We don't know, but we do know that a lot of mainstream audiences haven't really cared for Zack Snyder's universe,
Which is a shame.
But I feel like DC is also just doing the right thing on hitting the reset, because when Zack Snyder was putting that together, DC was just pushing Zack to basically catch up.
Yeah.
Catch up to Marvel. They wanted Zack Snyder to basically get all of the character development and all of the introductions
and he did that by himself.
And everything.
He did that by
all
himself.
in 3 movies.
He
wanted
it.
He wanted it to be done. They wanted it to all be done in Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and then in Justice League.
And they wanted to make Justice League a 2-part movie.
Yeah.
But also, I do have to say, even though he did that by himself, they wanted it to be done in 3 movies. You got to give Zack Snyder a lot of credit.
Yeah, that was a big task,
and he did it well.
He did it as best as he could,
Yes.
and I feel like if he was given more time, maybe giving Batman his own movie, maybe giving...
I don't think it was a fact of giving more time. I think it was the fact that he needed more creative freedom. You do have to admit that in the Marvel universe, the directors and the writers, especially recently, they have been giving way more creative freedom. And Zack Snyder, you could tell in Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League, he didn't have that creative freedom that a director needs, a director craves. And another thing, speaking of the director for this movie, I am very, very excited because this guy directed it.
Oh,
he directed it.
Okay,
that is going to be so cool. So, is it going to be scary? No,
but
but it's going to be on that borderline. Like, it's going to be tense. It's going to be intense. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be new, and I'm so excited to see it. I just can't wait to see Michael Keaton be suited up and say, I'm Batman. But you know what else I want to hear or see or do whatever the heck you want. I want to see or hear your number 4, doggone it.
Okay, so my number 4 is definitely going to be our shortest talked about one for sure.
Okay.
Because we literally know nothing about this film. Absolutely
I'm
nothing.
looking at your notes. I'm cheating a little bit.
Absolutely nothing we know about this movie, but
we know the title.
We know the title, and we know the director, and we have 3 people in the cast. That is it.
Yeah.
We don't have a synopsis. Oh, we also have a teaser poster. But besides that,
great cast.
We don't know anything about it. And this movie,
but they want to know what the title
for my
is.
number 4. You know what? Nope. I'm not going to tell you.
Why?
Nope.
But I want to hear it.
No, the title is Nope.
No, I want to hear your title.
No, the title, Jordan Peele's movie, Nope, is my number 4.
What do you mean, Nope? I want to hear what it is.
Okay, so the title
this is a big,
called
like, who's on
Nope.
first.
Yes,
it's a big who's on first. Wait, who's on first?
So... we literally don't know anything about this movie. No. All we know is that it's going to be Jordan Peele's next directed movie. The cast itself is Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, and Steven Yeun.
3 great actors.
Great actors and actresses.
Yes.
And all that we have in this poster is this menacing cloud over this town. So that means it's Jordan Peele. So it's 100% all that I need on.
So unfortunately,
on satire, I need everything from Jordan Peele.
I do have to say I have yet to see Get Out, but I've heard it's a great movie.
So
but
good.
I did see Us, and Us was phenomenal.
And it's
and I'm talking about the movie Us, not Us.
Not Us, yes, but
not Us, but the movie.
The amount of commentary and wit and just amount of storytelling that Jordan Peele is able to weave into all of his movies is so wonderful, so genius.
Yes. A very up-and-coming director. In reality, he's not an up-and-coming director. He is a now director. People want to work with Jordan Peele.
People want to work with him, and the thing that I think is the greatest thing of all, the dude started in comedy.
I know.
And now he's doing horror.
With
Keegan-Michael Key?
Keegan-Michael Key, Key and Peele.
Key and Peele. That's how Jordan Peele got into our pop culture, is through these amazing short comedy bits that Key and Peele did. But now he's now behind the camera, and he's now directing these really wonderful commentary horror films that are...
He's also been producing a lot. I know he produced
Candyman.
I did not see
one of the best horror films I feel like has ever come out in a while. Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. A horror film based in Chicago. 100% I'm there. I grew up around Chicago, so that's anytime that Chicago is brought up, I'm in the seat.
Yeah,
100%.
I also grew up in Illinois, but I grew up in Southern Illinois. Go St. Louis Cardinals.
Go Cubs.
What?
Fly the W. Fly that W high.
Hey, we got 11 world championships.
We have some.
But you know what? Not a baseball podcast.
Do you know what we also have some left of?
What?
We have 3 more left. We are in our top 3. So I want to hear your number 3.
The pressure is starting to mount, and guess what?
What?
Oh, okay. Finally, it took a while.
I know. I thought I was drinking something, but I guess I wasn't.
Not. So my number 3 is Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness.
Boo! Kidding. I love it.
Excuse me.
No, I really do love Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. May you continue.
Skip your 3, 2, and 1, and I'll just do my 3, 2, and 1.
Why are you looking forward to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness as your number 3?
Well, since you asked, Mr. Zach. So the reason why I am so excited for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is not the fact that it's just a Doctor Strange movie.
Yes.
It's a Sam Raimi movie.
Oh, yeah. 100%
So does that mean,
Sam
Raimi. Now that may mean it could be scary. I hope it is.
I hope so.
And if it's not, I'm not going to be too upset about it. But another thing that is intriguing me is the fact that you could see, we've already confirmed that we're seeing multiple Doctor Stranges.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, we did see multiple Spider-Men.
Yep.
Oh, spoiler?
We said we wouldn't spoil No Way Home. What are you talking about? There's nothing. No. Wait, that's Batman.
But you could also see... You could see a variant of Wanda. You could see another Loki variant because the Loki show is going to have repercussions on this
specific movie. Yep.
Mm-hmm. You could also see there's rumors that Tom Cruise may be a
Tony Stark.
Yes, that would be.
That was who originally before Robert Downey Jr. was looked at. It was going to be Tom Cruise originally,
which I could totally see that as like he's not going to be in the movie for long.
No, it's going to be
is in it.
It's going to be probably less of a cameo than whatever No Way Home threw at us.
Right,
like, it's probably going to be a blink. Like, it's Tom Cruise.
Wow.
Hi, Tom Cruise. Bye, Tom Cruise.
But another thing that I really think this is going to happen.
Yeah,
there are rumors that either Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart. Or one of the X-Men may show up.
Don't do this to me.
But think about that. Think about that. Think about it. Will you hush and let me say hush?
My fan heart is beating.
But think about that. Think about that. This is a multiverse that we've only just touched, just scratched the surface of this multiverse with No Way Home. Mm-hmm. So, and the fact that they are making an entire movie based on a multiverse, it's going to be big. It wouldn't surprise me if this movie pushes 3 hours.
I don't think it's going to get there, but I think it will be close.
It's going to push.
It's going to get close. So, like at least 2:30, 2:47.
I agree.
I'm actually going to put that down. 2:47 is what I think this is going to be at.
2:47.
2 hours and 47 minutes.
Okay, I thought you
said not 247 minutes.
Okay, I was going to say
that's way over.
That's pushing Justice League.
Yeah. 2 hours and 47 minutes. I guarantee you is going to be the runtime of this movie.
Another thing that has me on the edge of my seat a little bit is the fact that you are continuing Doctor Strange's story. You're also getting to the point where Doctor Strange is starting to be the leader of the Avengers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is this the movie that he sets aside even though he kind of did that in his ego in the first one,
Yep.
he still has an ego. He
Oh, yeah.
still does. Call me sir.
Yeah.
But is this the movie where he puts aside his ego and decides that, okay, I am going to take Tony Stark's place as the leader of the Avengers, or at least somebody that a lot of these newer Avengers live up to, and they can go to for advice, or they could go to for assistance. I feel like this may be the movie that happens.
Well, and that's the thing. So Doctor Strange, I'm also really looking forward to. It's not on my top 10.
What?
I know. I'm
Oh
sorry.
my
I'm
God.
sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
But I really am looking forward. I can't guarantee you him being the leader of the Avengers by the end of this movie, but what I can guarantee you, this Stephen Strange is officially going to become the Sorcerer Actual Supreme.
Yes, because
By
we
the
never
end.
saw that.
We never saw that. He had he held the title of Sorcerer Supreme,
But we never got a chance to see a full movie with that.
we never really got to see him be the Sorcerer Supreme.
Correct.
And be the guardian of all realms and universes.
Right.
So I'm really excited to see him become our Sorcerer Supreme. Not saying Wong's doing a bad job. He's doing wonderfully. We stand Wong.
Even though
he's great.
Even though he went on vacation.
He went on vacation, but it's fine. And he has a side gig of doing some
Absolutely.
underground fighting. But you
Yeah.
know what? He is a wonderful Sorcerer Supreme, but I cannot wait for Stephen Strange to step in and officially take over the title.
I agree, but you know what? Also, I'm very, very, very excited to hear about, even though you don't agree that this movie is not in your top 10. I want to hear your number 3.
My number 3, absolutely. Ready?
Sure.
Again, we don't know the plot of this movie.
Okay, so I have to ask. So do you want our listeners and or future viewers to actually see these movies? Or
I
do you
do.
want...
I really do. And that's the thing.
Zach, we want people to go out and see these movies.
I
We don't want
know,
them to stream.
But here's
we
the
want them
thing.
to see.
I want you guys to see these movies. The reason why I have so many movies that I don't know very much plot about near the tops of my list is because of their possibilities.
Possibilities are
for
endless.
number 3, the possibility that I'm looking at right now on my computer screen is a movie called Babylon.
The
Now,
Stories of Babylon?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now, when you hear the name Babylon, you're thinking, like ancient culture, the Towers
Right.
of Babylon. That's
Yes.
what you're thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened to the Tower of Babylon?
Right.
It fell
It did fall.
and it disappeared,
Right.
much like silent films in the
yes.
1920s.
Charlie Chaplin.
You have all these really wonderful talent, and that's what the time period is going to be for this film.
I think
it's going to be for that point in Hollywood where silent films were becoming extinct and talkies were becoming the new norm for Hollywood. So having Damien Chazelle, who directed La La Land, and I love La La Land so much.
Okay, so before you go any further, I'm
Yeah.
looking at your cast. I don't want to talk about your cast, but that's something I want.
Sure.
We do need to mention because
Yes.
this cast I'm looking at is stellar. But have you seen The Artist?
Yes.
That is a beautiful, kind of similar movie to this.
Yes.
That's a beautiful movie.
So-
For those of you at home, definitely check out The Artist.
I was about to say, could you go ahead and bring up what The Artist was?
The Artist was about a actor.
Well, not only what The Artist was, what style of film was The Artist?
Oh, that. I thought you wanted me to tell you
Well,
what it
you
was
tell
about.
the synopsis of it, but also tell what the style of it was.
Well, the
because-
style was a black and white silent film.
And
made
when
in
was that? When was
that
that
was made in
made?
2011.
What?
11 years ago.
What?
And it won Best Picture.
Exactly, and that's the thing. We haven't had a genuine mainstream silent film for so long.
Right.
It had been so long since we've had a mainstream black and white silent film until The Artist in
Right.
2011,
Yes.
and we haven't.
And it was a
had
beautiful
one since.
movie.
Oh,
Beautiful
100%.
movie. Yes.
So we're getting back to that old Hollywood. The great thing is that with us getting back to that old Hollywood, you also have to wonder who's going to be in this movie.
And I'm looking at your cast.
And this cast genuinely is stellar. The top billers are going to be Tobey Maguire,
What?
Brad Pitt, Olivia Wilde, and Margot Robbie.
Okay, so I do have to say, out of the cast that you have pointed out, Margot Robbie is probably the best out of all of them.
No, to be honest,
the
my one that I'm most excited about is Olivia Wilde.
Really?
Because Olivia Wilde, I think, is a phenomenal actress.
Yes, she's good, yes.
She's wonderful, but she's also, now that she's been behind the scenes in the director chair,
right,
with Little Women being a very wonderful movie that came out in 2020.
And the fact that she's dating Harry Styles.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, you can't go wrong with dating Harry Styles.
You cannot go wrong with Harry Styles. But
sorry. I'm sorry.
But I feel like it's a really wonderful time frame that we really haven't really discovered on the silver screen.
And this cast is very, very stellar.
And having Damien Chazelle direct them,
right.
and this is going to be probably a musical.
Absolutely.
There's nothing probably wrong with going to be a musical. These 1920s, 1930s, like 1940s, like show-stopping numbers.
We haven't seen
like
those.
Haven't been seen in a while.
No.
So to be brought back into that, like ideas and whatnot, all back onto film and see old Hollywood again, my heart is beating for that.
Because I love all those old classic films. God. One thing, okay, so I do have to ask the listeners at home, since this is a musical, if we do decide to review this movie, which I'm sure we will,
yes,
would you be interested in us singing the whole thing?
No, even I will put my foot down as a bachelor's in music theater. We are not gonna sing any more than "I've Been Dreaming of a True Love's Kiss." That's gonna be it. That's it. That's all we're gonna ever sing in our podcast.
But maybe they want us to like at least sing the intro to that podcast. Like,
Meanwhile, we have the Lollipop Guild just come in. But yeah, Babylon by Damien Chazelle is my number 3, and I cannot wait for its possibilities.
I do have to say, out of your top 10, I think so far this is the best pick. This is the best. Even though we don't know much.
We don't know what number 2 and number 1 are, and we don't know much about Babylon.
I mean, I don't know your number 1 and number 2, but so far this is your best pick.
Yeah, thank you.
Ride that horse.
Thank you. I will never let you live it down ever again in our podcast.
Yes.
I'm going to beat that horse all the way until our last show,
okay.
whatever that is.
So I'm going to go to my number 2.
Okay, yes, you can go to your number 2. He really loved Babylon, everybody.
Do I?
He
I
really
don't.
loved
Hold
Babylon.
on. I don't need to go number 2.
Oh yeah?
I do not.
Oh no! Just tell us our number 2.
Oh, you want me to tell it?
Not in really graphic detail, but what is your number 2 most anticipated movie of 2022?
Well, now
yeah. I don't need you to 103 all over the place, okay? I just want you to describe.
People don't know the 103s.
You're right, they don't. But
we're not gonna say. So. That's something that's on a need to know.
Don't worry, it's okay. It's a need to know, but I really need to know your number 2.
Can you put your hand off me, Zach?
Okay.
Thank you.
You just punched me.
How dare? Okay. My number 2 is. It is getting late, y'all.
Oh. No, okay. Your number 2. I really do want to hear it. I really want to hear your number 2.
Okay, hush. My number 2 is
Hush, my baby.
We just unplugged the thing.
No, we're still live. I think we're still live. Yes, we're still live.
Okay, so my number 2 is Lightyear.
Lightyear.
It is Lightyear.
Oh,
and
awesome.
I'm not talking light years away. I'm not talking Goodyear tire. I'm talking Lightyear. I'm talking Buzz Lightyear. So, do you remember in Toy Story 2 at the beginning where he is in the video game scene?
Yes,
and
yes,
Buzz Lightyear,
yes, of
that
course.
whole sequence of events.
Yeah.
I do have to say I love all 4 Toy Stories.
Yes.
I love all 4 of them. I think they're one of the best animated franchise of all time.
That was my childhood, was Toy Story.
Absolutely.
100%. I saw Disney on Ice Toy Story.
I did too.
I saw Toy Story 2 multiple times in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And I cried like a baby in Toy Story 3.
I cried like a baby in 3 and 4.
Oh, 4 too.
So I mentioned that sequence.
Okay.
The
video game sequence in Toy Story 2.
That was my favorite sequence of events throughout that whole franchise.
Oh, that was so fun.
Because it's so cool. Because you see Buzz Lightyear by himself in space doing what a space ranger does.
Yeah.
And as soon as I left that theater, I'm like, you know what? That's something I want to see. I want to see a Buzz Lightyear movie. And this is what we're getting.
Yeah, but not in the way that you're thinking.
We are seeing Buzz Lightyear, a human Buzz Lightyear, finally become the space ranger that we know And now, granted, this is the human one. This is not the toy.
This is who Buzz Lightyear the toy is based off of in their universe.
Yes. So basically, for those of you home that are confused, what we are going to watch in June, unless it gets delayed, or hopefully it doesn't go straight to Disney Plus.
Hopefully not. Disney, please stop sending Pixar movies to Disney Plus.
I really hope this doesn't, because I think this movie could be big.
This movie could be big. Oh, it would be so big.
So what we're going to watch in theaters, hopefully, in June, is basically the movie that Andy Davis was watching before he got a Buzz Lightyear doll, from what I understand. And
it's either that,
or maybe it's
either that, or it's the actual astronaut that then spawned the TV series and whatnot that Andy watched.
Well, from what I understood, that TV show is not canon anymore.
Which, I don't know either.
I
but
do not think. So, from what Pete Docter, the COO of Pixar, the chief
executive officer,
not exec. I think it's chief. He's the chief officer of Pixar.
Sure, yeah.
When he announced this movie in 2020 Investor Day, they thought when they created Buzz Lightyear, they made it to be he was a toy from a big blockbuster film.
Yeah.
And this is what they are finally making, that movie.
Gotcha.
And you cannot go wrong with a David Bowie song during
absolutely never
during that trailer. It's the fact that he is a young astronaut. Yeah. He's not a space ranger yet. How does he become a space ranger?
We see the suit.
And will he face Zurg?
I am really excited to see what Zurg is going to be in this film.
There's a little bit during the trailer that you see, and it's also directed by Angus MacLane.
Yep.
Same director of Finding Dory. Yep. And that great movie. You see a hint of Zurg.
Yes.
And I'm not going to lie, when you see it, if I was a little kid, I'm a little scared.
Yeah. You don't see Zurg himself, but
There's
see
a hint.
his Zurg bots.
Yeah, you see the Zurg bots.
So I'm really excited to see.
And you can't go wrong with Chris Evans.
Nope.
Captain America himself is going from Captain America, a Marvel icon, to Buzz Lightyear. Mm-hmm. He is not going to be America's ass anymore. He's going to be the universe's ass.
Oh, damn straight he is.
I mean, that's going to be some ass.
It's really wonderful casting.
Yeah. I'm curious to see.
I'm okay with having someone taking on this version of Buzz Lightyear since it isn't the toy. It's okay that Tim Allen isn't voicing him for this.
And I really hope that for the red carpet premiere that Tim Allen does a kind of a passing of the torch to him.
100%.
And I have a feeling, and this would be really cool too. At the end of the movie, maybe the human Buzz Lightyear finds his toy.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you hear Tim Allen's Buzz Lightyear to the rescue.
Well, and that's the thing. I think Tim Allen will cameo in this
I feel like
movie.
He will too. You can't have it without him.
Because there is no Buzz Lightyear without Tim Allen.
Absolutely. Even though they kind of made him a little dumb in the fourth one, you have to have
Tim Allen. And they're not doing Tim Allen or Buzz Lightyear a disservice.
Absolutely
not. This is just
a different
direction for a familiar character.
Absolutely.
So very excited to looking forward to Lightyear.
I'm also looking forward to your number 2.
My number 2.
So I'm talking the film,
yes,
not
the film,
number 2 that
the film
we were discussing.
My second most anticipated movie of 2022, my number 2 of 2022 is going to be Cyrano. Now,
what?
Cyrano is based off of the French play Cyrano de Bergerac.
Oh yeah. I never read that play.
Don't worry. The play is a man who has a very long nose who is considered ugly by society.
Like Pinocchio?
Kind of, but his nose doesn't grow. It's just permanently long and disfigured.
I would not want to.
However, Cyrano is intellectual and very well read, an amazing sword fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Just according to society, he's ugly, evidently.
And we all know how that is.
Or
at least I do. You don't.
Yeah, I told you, my girlfriend is somewhere. I don't know where. In the air somewhere. I don't know.
In the air tonight.
Maybe in my mind. I don't know.
Okay.
It's fine.
You did not continue that Phil Collins song.
I know.
I'm disappointed.
Calling in the air tonight. Oh no. We build the
anticipation, as Tim Curry would say. So since Cyrano is considered ugly, quote unquote, he feels that he cannot have the woman he loves. So he finds another that is in love with the woman that he loves. And this other man is Christian. Christian does not know how to woo a woman. So Cyrano is like, okay, I'm going to help you woo Roxanne. So help me help you.
I'll help you help. Like, you are going to have Roxanne at the end of the day, but I will teach you how to get Roxanne. And
so basically it's kind of like a buddy date movie,
almost, but it's
really
pre
2000s.
It's really
like 18th century.
But here's the thing:
century,
it's got everything. It's got comedy. It's got action. It's got romance. It's almost
and it's got what's that cast there?
So here's the thing:
it's got somebody really good.
So it does. So this version of Cyrano de Bergerac is actually an adaptation of that play. It's now going to be a musical. Well, okay, it's more of a play with song, not really a musical. It's going to be a film with songs in it, not necessarily
kind of like
musical.
a Shakespeare.
Kind of, yeah. But the person who's going to play Cyrano is going to be Peter Dinklage.
Solid.
And here's the thing. The reason why I'm really excited for this movie is because this adaptation was actually on stage before it came to film.
I did not know that.
And Peter Dinklage played Cyrano in that stage adaptation.
Which, to tell you the truth, and if you go back to the history of stage to film, if you have the same actor playing characters or actresses playing the same characters from stage to film, it does very, very well.
It usually works out really well. It does not always. We can look at Dear Evan Hansen as a way.
Yes, I did not see that, but I did hear. So,
but I feel like with the caliber of actor that Peter Dinklage is, and when the play came out, everyone said Peter Dinklage's Cyrano is the best Cyrano that they have ever seen, heard, ever. Period. Amen. And he got a ton of awards for his interpretation of Cyrano in this play.
Right.
So now it is basically going to be a movie adaptation of this musical version of Cyrano. And I am here for it. The trailers look amazing. The soundtrack sounds amazing. And I am so here for what this movie is going to be. And it's coming out soon. It's coming out at the end of February.
Really?
So I cannot wait to see my number 2 really soon.
Really?
But do you know what I really cannot wait to see really soon?
Is it my number
Your
one?
number 1. That's
All right.
right.
Well, you better make sure that everybody's still listening. You better make sure.
Bum ba-da-dum bum 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 ba-da-dum bum 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 bum. This joke is really going nowhere, but it's the theme from SpongeBob. Mitch is number 1.
It's the Batman.
There it is. There it is.
So I know you mentioned it. It's your number 7. I have to put this at my number 1.
Okay.
I have to.
Yep.
And it's...
I totally understand.
It's not just because of what you mentioned. It's because it's the main thing about this movie is because we are finally seeing that scary, violent detective, vigilante.
Yep.
Not a hero.
Not a hero.
Not a hero. And one thing, I do have to mention this. We did not mention that, when Robert Pattinson became Batman, when he was cast, I mean, everybody lost their minds.
Yeah.
The people were like just saying, no.
It's Twilight. What are you doing?
What are you doing? But as soon as his first interview, I think it was Good Morning America or 60 Minutes or something, he was making The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe.
Wonderful movie.
And he was talking about it, and then finally they said, we got to talk about the Batman. We got to.
Yep.
And he knew it was coming. It was coming, so he got real. And you could tell Robert Pattinson's so excited. He was so excited. He wants to play Batman. He wants to be the best Batman.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling he will.
Okay.
And this is why I think this.
Okay.
He asked, "Wow, how does it feel to play one of the best superheroes?" And Robert Pattinson, without missing a beat, he went, "Batman is not a superhero." And that's because in this second year of his crime fighting, he's not a hero.
No.
He's a violent vigilante.
Yep.
He's not the symbol of hope yet. He doesn't become, in the comic books, he doesn't become the symbol of hope until like his 5th or 6th, maybe even 10th year of crime fighting.
Yeah.
He doesn't become that symbol that Gotham City believes in. People are afraid of the Batman. People are so scared.
Yep.
They don't want to go out at night.
No.
They're afraid to get the crap beat out of them.
That's exactly why.
And not only that, but we are now from the first trailer where he's walking around the crime scene with the Riddler, the first crime scene.
Yep.
You can tell with not just the detective. We've touched upon that. We all know it's going to be a detective story, which is awesome. Yeah. Very awesome. But this movie's going to be scary. Yeah. And there's also, you can tell, even though he is close with the Gotham City Police Department and Lieutenant Jim Gordon, played by, what is his name? Jeffrey Wright is his name?
No, I don't. Yes, I think so.
I think it is. While you look at that, he's not going to be very close with the Gotham City Police Department, which is something that we have not touched upon in a lot of his movies. He's not going to be very close with the Gotham City Police Department. No. He's going to be at odds with them.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so, what is it? Jeffrey Wright.
You're right. Yeah.
I think, and it's the fact that he's going to be violent.
Yeah.
He's going to be scary. He is going to be very, very detective-y.
Yep.
And one thing that a lot of people keep forgetting with Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, you're going to see a Bruce Wayne Batman, Selena Kyle Catwoman love story that we have not seen.
Let alone just a proper Catwoman.
Yes. I did love Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman is really great. I feel like we're gonna get a more honest and a more.
You're gonna see chases. You're gonna see jumping from rooftops to rooftops. You're gonna see fights. You're gonna see scratches. You're gonna see blood. You're gonna have it's not gonna be. Batman's not gonna throw a punch and be like, "I am so sorry." Like he's gonna
follow through on that punch and follow it up with another one.
Well, and one thing that this Bruce Wayne, he is still grieving over his parents.
Yeah.
Now, granted, he is 30, so it's going to be about 15 some odd year, or I think he was 8 when his parents died, so about 12 years.
Yep.
12 years. So he's still grieving.
Yeah.
When I look at this version of Bruce Wayne, I see a rich vigilante Kurt Cobain. This man, and I'm not joking.
No, I know you aren't. But the reason why I laugh is because it's true.
But that's so intriguing. We've never seen that. Mm-hmm. He's broken. He's scared. You can tell he's scared.
Yeah,
he's scared. Even though he puts on that mask, he puts on that suit. He is scared to go out, even though he's not afraid to die.
Yeah,
he is afraid of. I think this is something they will touch up on in the movie. Mm-hmm. He is afraid of his crusade not being worthy of what's happened to his parents.
Oh, 100%.
And another thing that I will touch up on before I go any further, the fact that this movie is going to be almost 3 hours long. That is big. That is so big. That is something that I've always wanted with a Batman movie.
100%.
I've wanted a 3 hour long Batman movie.
Well, and also it gives us time because this is going to be a detective film.
Many things going on.
There's going to be so much going on. Riddler can actually genuinely
Paul Dano as the Riddler is so cool.
Perfect
He's going to
casting.
be great. He's going to be great. Another thing, Andy Serkis as Alfred Pennyworth.
So interesting. Never would have pegged him as an Alfred.
And their little riff that I don't want to say riff, the conversations that we've been seeing with Bruce Wayne and Alfred, you can tell that this isn't going to be the father-son relationship that they've had.
No.
I feel like there is. It's going to be a little bit.
There's always that with Alfred.
But Alfred is hiding something.
Oh, yeah.
Alfred is hiding something. And Bruce Wayne's going to find out. He's going to be mad.
He's going to be pissed.
Now, is Alfred going to be fired? No.
No, it's
There are
Alfred.
rumors going around that he's going to die, but which
Possible.
I wouldn't be opposed. I would not be opposed. But another thing, and we will get to your number one. I promise.
No, yeah,
but
I believe
I'm so
you.
excited about
you.
this movie. I'm
Yeah,
so excited.
No, keep on talking. This is your number one.
This is my number one, and I will milk it like a cow.
Damn straight.
Anyway, this is something that you can tell with the interviews that Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson have made. This movie, they poured their heart and souls into this movie.
100%.
They are so excited for people to see this movie.
Yeah.
This was supposed to come out in Halloween.
Yeah.
Of October 2021,
Yep.
which I'm glad they delayed it. I have a feeling they weren't going to be ready. And if it was ready, great.
Better to take their time and make sure that
absolutely
they're being meticulous, I feel like.
But it's just the fact that Matt Reeves has been taking inspiration by one of my favorite Batman comic stories. It's the Batman The Long Halloween.
Yeah.
I have read that story, and yes, it's not going to have the Joker in it, but there's going to be hints.
Yep.
There's going to be hints. But it's just the fact that you are seeing a young Bruce Wayne in his second year of crime fighting. You just see that he's human.
Yeah.
He's human. He's who is under that cowl?
Yeah.
A human person. Who's under that suit? When he looks up at the sky and sees his signal, that is a flesh and blood man. That is not a kid with spider powers.
No.
That is not
a Kryptonian.
That is not Kryptonian.
That's not an Amazonian. This is
a human
being.
And I think that's what this movie has going for it compared to the other movies that has had Batman in it.
Yep.
Michael Keaton was a great Batman. He is still my favorite. But I'm going to call it now. I will call it now. We are recording.
Yeah, we are recording.
Robert Pattinson will overtake Michael Keaton as the best Batman.
Ooh,
I am calling it.
all
And I am
right.
also going to call it now. This movie is going to be the best movie of 2022.
Really?
I will say
You're going to put this as best picture, possibly?
I don't know. Well, not best
Okay,
picture. Not
okay.
best picture. Not
Just-
best picture. Granted, this is subjective.
Yes.
This is going to be one of the best movies of 2022.
Gotcha.
People are going to see it. People are going to love it. And I just can't wait for people to see it just as much as Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson have talked about it. They're excited for people to see it.
Oh, yeah.
I still tell people that people need to see this movie.
Oh, 100%.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Everyone should see this movie, whether or not you are a comic book fan or not, whether you like romance movies or comedies. This is a film that I feel like so many people should see because this is going to be such a different Batman than what we have seen before. We can't even classify it almost as a Batman film.
That's what's so exciting about it. It's almost like you could take away the Batman, have another title, and people would still come to see it because they know it's going to be Batman.
Yeah.
It could have been titled Bruce Wayne. It could have been titled
Wayne.
It could have been titled Wayne. It could have been titled it could have been titled The Long Halloween, and people would still see it.
Something, yeah.
Because they would have known that this is a different Batman movie that we have not seen. We probably will never see another one like it.
Probably not.
And it's going to be a trilogy.
Yeah. This is going to be genuinely something special.
You know what
and
else is
that's
gonna
what
be
that's what I can't get over.
You know what else is going to be special?
Yeah.
Your number one.
Oh, okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
So my number one is actually one that we did hit upon earlier. It's gonna be Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
Well, I'll be.
If you were to have asked me before Into the Spider-Verse came out, what was the best comic book movie ever? Period. Amen. It would be Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2.
And I would have agreed with you.
I thought that was the best I thought that was not only the best Spider-Man movie ever created, but the best comic book movie ever created.
And
Period. Amen.
Endgame hadn't came out yet.
Endgame hadn't come out. Spider-Man No Way Home hadn't come out yet. And the MCU has had amazing movies. My favorite all-time movie of the MCU is Captain America Civil War, which is my favorite all-time comic book is Civil War.
Right.
However, Into the Spider-Verse then came out. Changed the game.
I
absolutely changed the game, not only for what a superhero movie could be, but what an animated movie could be.
Yes.
What a character film can be.
I'm really disappointed that I did not see that movie in theaters.
It was the first movie me and one of my roommates actually saw. Me and Kate. It was our first time that we actually quality spent time together was going to see Into the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, because she saw it before me. And she
really?
was like, Zach, we need to see this movie. You need to go see this movie right now.
Really?
And I was like, okay, let's go. And it was amazing. And I'd known Miles' character before. I saw him in the comics.
Yeah, I knew a little bit about Miles.
This was different.
Mm-hmm.
This was special.
Mm-hmm.
This genuinely. Now, Lord and Miller know how to write a character.
Absolutely.
They made us love the Lego movie. God damn it. Why is the Lego movie so good? It's because of Lord and Miller.
It is because of Lord of Miller. And they made 21 and 22 Jump Street. Correct?
That they did.
I unfortunately have not seen either of those, but I've heard they're really, really good.
21 Jump Street.
21 Dump Street. Coming to a theater near you.
I feel like that's going to be a 21 Jump Street sequel. It's 21 Dump Street. I feel like that's going to be a sequel.
Do you remember when
it.
they wanted to do a crossover with Men in Black?
Oh, yeah. I would have seen that movie.
I would have too.
I would have seen that
Will
movie.
Smith, Tommy Lee Jones going at it with Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum. Oh, my God. Tommy Lee Jones would not, because I know how serious he is when he's making his movies. He would not have had a good time.
He would not have done that. But back to Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse. That movie genuinely set a precedent, and we were told that there was going to be another one afterwards.
Right.
And we saw that 2099 Spider-Man was going to be coming in with the end credit scene, with basically memeing the end of that movie with a post-credit scene, ending with a meme was great. But
we got that meme in No Way Home.
We got that meme in No Way Home as well.
Twice.
But I just... One of my favorite reviewers, John Campia,
mm-hmm.
I feel like has put Will I Like a Sequel the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's the question to ask is, do I want to spend more time, A, in this world,
mm-hmm.
and B, with these characters?
Mm-hmm.
And I can say with a solid yes to both of those questions.
Right.
I want to spend more time with Miles. I
mm-hmm.
want to spend more time with Gwen. And I want to spend more time with this specific Spider-Verse.
Well, also, you can add a little multiverse to it.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if this movie is successful and Marvel and Disney, because Marvel and Disney has seen these movies.
Oh,
and they're gonna see it. What if they include this Spider-Verse into the MCU multiverse?
Well, and that's the thing.
They can do that.
Here's the thing. I feel like
it's very possible.
I feel like Into the Spider-Verse actually set up that precedent.
I think so too.
Because if you look at Spider-Ham, which in terms of because you have humans, and then you have Spider-Ham,
right?
He's flat out a cartoon character in their quote unquote real world,
right?
We could have a cartoon character in our real world.
Like Who Framed Roger Rabbit style?
Almost. Not as zany. Not as zany.
They could do that. I think
I'm
they
not
can do
saying that that Miles coming to the MCU would be zany if he was our animated Into the Spider-Verse Miles.
He could be there.
But oh my God, what if?
That would be... What?
Oh my God, what if?
We are pondering the question. What if?
What if Into the Spider-Verse Miles Morales, that Miles Morales... comes to the MCU.
That would be really good.
That
really
would
cool.
be so amazing. They have hinted at Miles Morales multiple times in the MCU, but they have never outright had him here. We've had his uncle Aaron be in Homecoming. He was as Donald Glover. In No Way Home, he was alluded. Miles was alluded to
by Electro.
Even though Miles was name dropped in Homecoming, but he was again alluded to in No Way Home.
Yeah.
we have not seen Miles yet in the MCU.
We need to see him.
We need to see Miles in the MCU. And whether or not that's as a live action, which I do hope we do get a live action Miles. I really hope that we will. But if I'm honest, I want to see this version of Miles in the MCU. But that all aside, because of how special Into the Spider-Verse was, I am really excited for Across the Spider-Verse. Like, you do not understand how much I'm excited, because Into the Spider-Verse was such a wonderful launching point, genuinely into the Spider-Verse, that now Miles is going to get to play in the Spider-Verse.
Right.
And I don't know if you saw this, but recently there was an interview with with one of the directors.
Right.
There's three. That's Joaquin Dos Santos, Kemp Powers, and Justin Thompson. I believe it was Justin Thompson that they were interviewing, and they said how that they are going to approach the animation to this next film is that they're going to have basically like lead artists.
I saw this interview
for each universe that they visit.
Right, and they're going to have a different style.
And each style is going to be how they direct it.
Right.
Oh my God.
That's something that's never been done before.
God.
That's never been done before.
To have three different creative visions going on at the same time in one movie.
Right.
Three drastic visions clashing. Oh my God.
I just hope they get along.
That's the point. I hope they kind of don't.
Really?
I hope they juxtapose. I hope that they are so wildly different that it's so
and very
abrupt,
creative too. Yeah, creative.
So abrupt that when they clash, it is so abrupt and so jarring. I'm hoping it works, and
I think
I'm
it
so
will.
excited, and I think it will. And I genuinely think. A lot of people wonder, was Into the Spider-Verse just capturing lightning in a bottle?
Or like a fluke, yeah.
I think the storytelling was so well built and the world crafting was so well done. We have a franchise here that is so special. It's just so wonderful.
The one thing that worries
I cannot wait.
The one thing that worries me a little bit, it's a part one.
But see, that's the difference for me.
Really?
The fact that it is only a part one.
Right.
The promise of a part two. The idea. Because think about that. If we go back to Spider-Man 2, technically Spider-Man 2 is a part 2.
Right.
It's a part 2. But since Across the Spider-Verse is a part 1, technically it's not a part 1. It's a part 2 of a story.
So do you think this is going to be their Spider-Man 2?
I believe so.
You think so?
I think that this is going, and I always think second films get a bad rap for...
Really?
I do. I do always think second films get a bad rap because they always are more character-driven, more like, who are these characters? That's always what... number 2 dives in so that we can see the finish of their arc in number 3.
One thing that I gotta point out, Spider-Man 2 was Peter Parker's Spider-Man No More. Miles Morales has done a Spider-Man No More.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen if that would be a big ending cliffhanger for part 1 if he decided I don't want to do this anymore?
Yeah.
Every single Spider-Man across every universe
has done that.
Has had a no more.
Yep.
If they do this one will be one of the biggest movies, if not the biggest movies in 2022.
100%.
If they go that route, I think they could. I think they might.
And here's the thing. So there have not been a lot of animated pictures that have gone up for Best Picture. Very rarely have they gone up, been nominated, and even more rare have they won. If Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is going to do what I think it will do, and I'm going to keep all that stuff close to my chest because I don't want to get myself that psyched up for it. But if they do what I think they're going to do, I genuinely 100% want this to be nominated for Best Picture.
Do you think it could win?
I think it can.
You think it can?
I think it can if it does what I think it will do.
Okay, so you're hearing it now, folks. Zach thinks that this one's going to be nominated.
I think it can. I think it has a high possibility of being nominated for Best Picture.
Really?
100%. It's going to stand.
Wow.
It's going to stand up to. I genuinely think it is going to stand up to the likes of Beauty and the Beast,
Toy Story 3.
All these animated film list for Best Picture that have even been nominated is very short.
Right.
I believe it will stand up there, and I think it might have the possibility of winning.
Well, you know what? That's a good one to end on.
It is a good one to end on. But just as a recap, I will go ahead and recap all 10 movies that I put down for my top 10.
I also will.
But since I just finished my number 1, Mitch, I want to recap. What is your official top 10 for your most anticipated movies of 2022?
Now, we are not going to mention honorable mention or our streaming. We're just doing the top 10.
Just the top 10.
10 was Avatar 2.
Yes.
9, Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. Number 8, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Number 7, Uncharted. Number 6, Morbius. Number 5, Lord Love and Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, The Flash. Number 3, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Number 2, Lightyear. Number 1, The Batman.
The Batman for number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then for my list, Zach Prewish's list, number 10 is going to be Bullet Train.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9 is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That is the title, right?
That is the title. Okay. Number 8, Black Adam.
Okay.
Number 7, The Batman. Mm-hmm. Number 6, Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, Strange World. Number 4, Nope.
You're not telling us number 4?
No, number 4's title is Nope by Jordan Peele. I promise.
Okay.
Number 3, Babylon. Number 2, Cyrano.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
There you have it, folks. Both our top 10s.
They're
very different,
very diverse,
yes,
very wonderful.
But that's good. That's
Mm-hmm.
That's good that we both have very conflicted opinions on when it comes to these movies. It's going to make our reviews even better.
Yep, and I can guarantee you each of these movies we are going to be sitting in and we are going to be reviewing. Speaking of reviews, we have a review coming up, actually, in the not-too-distant future.
So it was going to be the 355.
That it was.
But we saw it. We watched it.
And
we
it didn't end.
We actually stayed the whole time.
We did. We didn't walk out, even though there were multiple points where that film could have ended and we could have left, but they kept going.
We walked out of the theater. We looked at each other and we're like, is this really the one movie that we want to start? And the answer was no, but we got excited because there was another movie coming out the week after. Mm-hmm. We are going to be a little late to the game, but that's just
we have already seen it.
We have seen it. We're a little late to the game on this review, but it is coming. It is in the works. It could be coming this week. I don't know. Do you know, Zach?
It will be in the cards, I'm hoping, by this week.
I think it will. The first movie that we will be reviewing is, Mr. Zach, would you like to tell them?
I don't know. I think you, Mitch, are actually really excited to say it. I think
I'm so excited I could scream.
Oh my God! It's Scream.
It's Scream.
Oh,
not the first one.
Not the first one.
Not the second one.
Not the second one.
Not the third.
Not the third.
Not the fourth.
Not the fourth.
But the fifth. But it's just titled Scream. Mm-hmm. We watched it, and this is something that we are passionate about to review. This is the first review that we will be doing on this podcast, so stay tuned for that. We also will be reviewing all of our top 10s. If there's anything that you want us to review, whether it's a new movie or an old movie,
or maybe even some streaming, we wouldn't mind
some streaming. I know, The Peacemaker came out on HBO Max. Mm-hmm. There's a few Netflix movies that are coming out that a lot of people are excited.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff coming out on HBO Max, Peacock, Paramount Plus. I subscribe to all of them.
Yep. And we really do like all the content that is coming to streaming.
Sometimes I forget to play video games and read books because I'm watching too much stuff.
That it is, but the thing that we always crave for the most.
We crave content, movies, TV. We crave anything that has a story.
Yep.
Anything that has a story.
And the best place to watch stories is by far
the
a movie theater. It's where movies should be.
Yes.
You cannot tell me that watching Spider-Man No Way Home or even Avengers Endgame for the first time
we don't want to watch that in a home.
Would be better at home than it was
In the theater,
experiencing with everybody in a theater, because hands down, all the cheers, all the crying, all the wonderful
popcorn.
emotions, all the popcorn being thrown across the
all the
room.
soda that was being drank and all the popcorn.
Like
hot
my mouth
dogs,
just salivates every single time that I think that I'm heading to the theater.
So
Whether
I-
it's not
so I
going to
do
get a
have to-
hot dog, popcorn,
So
candy.
I do have to say I don't like popcorn.
Well, I like my caramel corn. I
do like
usually
your caramel corn?
get gourmet caramel corn.
That is also something that we were also going to mention at the end of this podcast. If there's anything movie related that you want to hear from us, please let us know.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a movie list or a movie review, if it's something like
A video game.
a video game or a TV show, or heck, you can ask us what our favorite thing to do at a movie theater that isn't seeing a movie. Like, what's our favorite snack? What's our favorite thing to do other than go to the bathroom and watch the movie or sightsee or whatever?
Or like our favorite like theater chains. Like
Theater chains?
Who do we like to go to for our movie going experience?
Or go to streaming service.
Exactly.
Yes.
So there is multiple things that we are more than willing to talk about. We right now are just looking at reviews right now, but if you want us to talk about more things, we are more than welcome to talk about more things.
We are also
We
have
are
a
an
few-
excellent little podcast,
Yeah.
but the little can just focus on just a little bit of video games, a little bit of books, a little bit of streaming, a
Plays.
little bit of everything.
maybe some Shakespeare.
plays, yeah.
We do have some top 10s in the works. We'll see how that goes. Because I really enjoyed this top 10.
Oh yeah, this was a fun
was
top
fun.
10 to go through.
And it was long, but you know what? If you are able to stick around,
Thank you for sticking around.
thank you
this
for
long.
sticking around. If you fast forward, that's fine.
That's okay.
I would. I'm not gonna lie, Zach. I would have fast forwarded.
But you didn't fast forward through Babylon, which I'm excited about. You loved Babylon.
I did get excited. You did not fast forward through my number one.
No, I did not. And we are always excited to talk about movies, and that's why we are here to talk about movies.
Well, Zach, it is getting a little late.
That it is.
People are probably getting tired of hearing us talk. So
I hope not. But
we are gonna have to say goodnight
That
to
we
all
are.
our podcast listeners, to us.
And hey, you know what? We would love to hear your guys' top 10 at some point.
Absolutely.
So please let us know. We're going to go ahead and get going, but it's been a pleasure. My name is Zach.
My name is Mitch.
And this has been an excellent,
Excellent
little podcast.